come watch Penguin single parent, 5 children. We have a beautiful sim here today if you want to take a look. I was really proud of finding the D20 shirt. I was actually so proud. I will show off his outfits while I talk. But when I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of Sims challenges, and one of them that I remember so clearly was having like one sim parent a bunch of little children, and it was one that I'd always wanted to do. So I was like, oh well, maybe I could have, 1 or 2 of them parent like 3 or 4 of them, and I was like, what would be so funny if I had Penguin parent the gang as babies. So that's what I ended up choosing to do. A lot of this, because I was recording at night, is gonna be voiceover from like later or captioned, just because it's late. But yeah, so I'm just showing off little baby outfits here. I did want to do a video of my adult Sims, but I couldn't get the voiceover extracted off my phone tonight, so I'll have to do it tomorrow. So for now, we're gonna do this. If I can get all the clips from, baby gameplay. Just a warning. Taking care of 5 sim babies is freaking insane shit, okay? There's so much stuff to do, and all of a sudden everyone's hungry and they're about to get taken away, and you're like, what the hell? So yeah. So to start off, look at Penguin and his cute little children. I hope he enjoys that. I'm sure nothing will ever go wrong with having one person parent 5 infants. I was considering actually making the older ones toddlers and making Cornflake an infant, and maybe I should have done that, but I did not, because I wanted to make it hard on myself. So here we have all their little high chairs. Helia, Jasper, Cornflake, Lindra, Alora, because, I wanted them to be color-coded. Their cribs are color-coded too. Not that that'll be followed, I'm sure. Little bathroom, and then their living room. And then upstairs I did, Alora and Calendra's room, which is very cute in my opinion. Like, so cute. I give them a little art table and stuff. And then on the other side we have Helia, Cornflakes, and Jasper's room. They've got like a pink bear, they got a bookshelf, and then we have a chemistry table, mostly for Calendra, honestly, and a little dollhouse. So very adorable. Very much hope these babies like them. And yeah, prepare for chaos. As you can see right away, we have Helia on the sidewalk. Unfortunately, this is going to be a reoccurring theme, but I did have to pick her up at some point. And bring her inside with all of her little Dungeons and Dragons siblings. I thought that once I got them all in their high chairs, I had it in the bag. I just wanted everyone inside, and then I could just take care of them one by one. I was a fool. So I allowed him a little help. Meet Dana, the nanny. Right off the bat, she was pretty helpful in some aspects. And, less in regardless, there are more important things to focus on. Long story short, playing this game with them all as infants gave me about the same amount of stress as playing a horror game. Despite the challenges that came with playing with them all as infants, though, I pressed on, and the infant stage does go by pretty fast, as they say, so before I knew it, it was their birthday. But first, Yikes, I'd hate to be that guy. From there, it was a lot of just, you know, trying to make sure they stayed alive, trying to make sure no one got taken away, trying to make sure, you know, they made it to toddlerhood, because at this point I was so sick of children. But I knew that their birthdays were very close, and even from their creation, I think that their birthdays were only like 3 or 4 days out, so I only had to survive 3 or 4 sim days of this, which was around 36 minutes each, so 2 hours of absolute torture. But of course, my luck being my luck, nothing could go without a hitch. And this game decided that I didn't have enough challenges. So, on top of that, we had our first of many horrifying glitches. That being that Calindra was permanently stuck in the crook of Penguin's arm. Yeah. Luckily, this was an easy fix, and all I really had to do was save my game and leave, and then get back in, and she was, you know, laying on the floor as if dead or possibly sleeping, and he was passed out. It was fine. It worked out. I fixed it. Don't worry. However, in all that excitement, I did forget to record an extremely important thing, that being, you know, them aging up the toddlers, so I'm sorry. Right off the bat, without a doubt, toddlers were immediately way easier than infants. And I mean, that's not to say that they didn't come with unique challenges and such, but at the very least, they were in less danger of being taken away every 10 minutes. But about the next 20 minutes of footage that I recorded is all of their automatic toddler forms, the ones that the Sims give them. They do have cuter ones later on, not that I show them off, but you'll see them. So I guess for now, we'll just have to deal with, you know, what the Sims thinks that they should look like. But don't worry, they're coming. It is worth noting that at this time, Calindra was still an infant because, for some reason, her birthday was 1 day later. I don't really know why. I think I fixed it when I made them all children because I aged her up on the same day, even though her birthday was the next day. But she does stay an infant for a day longer, which is why there's a crib in the hall until they're all children, and why she's an infant at the moment. Now, in some instances, to be fair, I couldn't really blame Penguin for being a bad parent, because it was low-key my fault that Alora had to sleep on the chair for like 2 nights, for example, because I did not realize that toddlers need to learn to walk on stairs. I'm a little bit stupid, but it's okay. Regardless, I figured it out, albeit when they were like almost done with being toddlers, but I figured it out, and now I know, so that's cool. Yeah, so overall, you know, actually Penguin did pretty good with them as toddlers. I did not, but it's okay. Due to the caregiver's general refusal to take care of Helia for some reason, I did make her independent as a toddler, so a lot of the stuff she does is on her own, which was good, because for some reason Penguin and Dana just absolutely refused to take care of her. It was actually really annoying, but she ended up potty training herself, she ended up feeding herself most of the time, she ended up learning to walk up the stairs first. Yeah, it was pretty much immediate. Anyways, new toddler design jump scare. There's also a rare lady standing at the door in this clip. I believe I just ignored her in this instance because, honestly, I didn't really care to greet her while I was trying to make sure that everyone was alive, and I think she just went away in this instance, but this is definitely not the first time that we will see her because she shows up a lot for some freaking reason, and she's not the only one that will. So now that everything was mostly under control, Penguin started to get to work being a toddler parent alongside with his trusty nanny, Dana Noelle. And honestly, everything went pretty well during this stage. I would say that for the most part, everyone became pretty good friends. There was not a lot of issues in terms of needs not being met. Obviously, it was still quite difficult, as with the infants, so there definitely were some times where I was a little bit stressed out. However, I would say this stage went a lot better than before. And it is largely uneventful, so most of what you will see of the toddler stage will be sped up or small cut parts, but I will try to keep it somewhat interesting, so you will see a little bit of it at least. Unfortunately though, Penguin is the one who gets neglected the most in this video. I mean, they work themselves to passing out or whatever, and then I forget that they also have needs, so that's like probably my fault. Also, upon finding out that Helia could name things, I did name her unicorn something pretty special because I felt like it fit, and that unicorn kept the name throughout whenever because they all kept the stuffed animals that I gave them when they were little children, little babies. Well, I told you that their toddlerhood was largely uneventful, and here it is, already their birthday again, so it is time for them to age up into children. I did end up aging Calendra up with all the rest of them because I was really not wanting to deal with waiting a day to, change their designs or fix the furniture or whatever, so they all aged up here. I recorded this time so you can see all the things I chose for them. I did, however, age Calendra last because at this point she had locked herself in as the little sister, so I decided that I would make her truly little sister by, making her the youngest. Now, being a child does last quite a bit longer than being a toddler or being a infant, so a lot of it I will not record. I will record any of the interesting parts, and I promise you that it gets a lot more interesting now that they're children, but it is time for another design change.